Hey everyone, Andrew here, bringing you another video, and today we are going to be finishing my top 10 countdown to my favorite good guys, champions, and heroes of all time. Now, remember, this is not who I think is the best, just who I like the most. So, before we even get into the countdown, there's 3 announcements I have to make. So don't be a douchebag and fast forward to the countdown. These are important announcements. You gotta listen to them. First announcement is that I'm not going to be putting pictures up to show who is my pick of the week. The reason for this is because YouTube's partnership laws are getting tighter and tighter around my throat. As of now, on my videos, I can't put up any artwork that is not my own. This is a new rule that YouTube has initiated. They now have checkout boxes for when I have to put up my videos. So, unfortunately, I'm going to have to use different visual aids to help you on who is my pick of the week. The example of this is in my previous top 10 countdown. I used the action figure of Dinobot rather than a picture of him. The second announcement is that we're going to do things a little bit differently for the next countdown. What we're going to do is I'm going to give you 3 options, and you guys are going to vote on what I will do for my next top 10 countdown. A lot of people have asked, who have been doing the countdown with me, what was going to be my next countdown pick. And I thought I'd do things a little differently and give it to you guys the opportunity to pick what will be my next countdown. So, at the end of this video, I will give you guys those picks. Leave a comment, and only comment on this video. And whoever has the most comments out of that pick, that's the video I'm going to do for my next top 10 countdown. Again, don't be a douchebag and skip the video just to go to the results to see who is the what will be the next video pick for my top 10 countdown. Watch the video. And lastly, this is going to be a 3-way tie for my number 1 pick. Oh my God, I'm doing another tie. But this is necessary because there's 3 individuals in all form of fictional mediums that I love equally. And it was gut-wrenching to try to separate these 3, but I couldn't. I honestly couldn't. So, with that said, let's get into it. So, there are 3 individuals that are going to be my number 1. 3. Yes, 3. So let's do number 1. Let's do probably the most obvious of them all. Batman. Of course Batman was going to be one of my number 1 picks. Duh. I have been a Batman fan all my life, and I can quite literally say that. My father has a picture of me up in his study when I was 3 years old in a Batman costume, having my cape out like that, trying to look like the Dark Knight. I have been a Batman fan all my life. And a lot of people like Batman for his stories. A lot of people like Batman for his villains. A lot of people like Batman for his supporting characters. I can honestly say I like him for all that stuff. But I like Batman for Batman. The character himself, Bruce Wayne. I love Batman. He's just a character that I would want to aspire to be. He has no superpowers. He relies on his will, wit, and body alone. Genius level intellect. The world's greatest martial artist. He can outsmart, outmaneuver, and outplan anyone. That's something that I like. I like the fact that he's smart, that he uses his intellect rather than brawn. Seeing that I'm a martial artist, I like the fact that he's probably the world's greatest fighter. I mean, in hand-to-hand combat, no one can beat him. And I also like the fact that he can outplan and outsmart anyone. He's a detective. He can solve any mystery. I mean, these are the things that make me love Batman. I also love his origin story. I mean, he had such a tragic childhood, committing himself to taking down evil. I mean, there's nothing about Batman I do not like. I prefer the tragic hero of Batman rather than the schizo kind of I need to watch everyone kind of Batman. Conspiracies are everywhere. But I love Batman no matter what. He's a character that I am in love with. I mean, a lot of people say that they love Batman comics for many reasons, but I love Batman comics for Batman. He's my favorite comic book character. He's amazing. There's not much more I can say about it. I mean, it's Batman. I could list off millions upon millions of reasons why I like Batman. But we don't have that much time. You guys don't want to sit here and listen to me talk about how great Batman is. I would like to listen to myself talk about how great Batman is, because Batman is a fucking man. But, yeah, I mean, he was an obvious pick. Of course I was going to throw Batman as one of my number ones. Amazing character. Amazing. And there's so many reasons why I love him. So, with that said, that is my first pick for my number one. I've been a Batman fan all my life, and I will continue being a Batman fan. He has inspired me in ways that you wouldn't even believe. And it's kind of funny because he's a comic book character. And a comic book character having that much influence over someone's life to give them that much inspiration, that just shows how special he is. So, with that said, we're going to do the number 2 pick for my number one. This guy has as much claim to being my favorite hero as Batman does. So, with that said, the next number 1 pick would be Angel from Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Angel. This is one of my favorite pictures of Angel there is. Angel is such a unique character, and I think he's overlooked by people a lot. He's such a tragic hero that really is fighting for redemption, but in his fight for redemption, he becomes a hero. And I think out of all the Buffy and Angel characters there are, I think Angel is more of a hero than anyone else. I mean, Buffy does what she does because she's destined to do it. I mean, if Buffy had a choice to live a normal life, she would. Faith does it because it's kind of redemption right now. Spike does it because, well, he's bored. He has really nothing else to do. But Angel first did it for redemption. Now he does it because it's the right thing to do. He sold away, although he didn't, but he sold away the possibility of him becoming a human. Everything he strived for to gain his humanity, to save lives, at the end of Season 5. That just shows how much of a hero Angel is. I love Angel, from his look to his character to every dynamic there is about him. I also think he's the best fighter there is on Buffy and Angel. Now, a lot of people can dispute that and will argue with me. What about Spike beating him? I said this before. If you're a fighter, honestly, if you're a fighter and your heart is not in it, you're not going to win. And Angel's heart wasn't in it. Plus, Angel beat Spike in Season 1 of Angel when he had the Ring of Amaru he had to deal with. I think it was the Ring of Amaru. And then he beat him in After the Fall. I mean, Angel is the best fighter there is. I think he can honestly beat Buffy. Angelus fought Buffy, and that's a different story. Angelus was owning her ass until he started opening up his mouth. Angel wouldn't do that. Angel, I think, is the best fighter out of the whole entire group. Although he may not win every fight, that makes him that much more relatable of a character. Is the fact that he doesn't always win every fight. But there's so many dynamics to Angel, and he has such a big brother personality to him. He feels such like a comforting person. He feels like someone that you can go to, and he'll be a sanctuary. He'll be your protector. And Angel will do anything he can to protect you. There's just so much I like about Angel, and I think he's overlooked a lot because he's a different character from every other Buffy and Angel character. Angel, at first, doesn't have that much personality. He's very much a brooding, dark, kind of emotionless character. It isn't until later that his personality really starts to flourish because he starts to get a little bit more comfortable with people. So I think people don't really look at Angel the same way I do because they don't see the dynamic character traits in him. They see him just as that brooding, emotionless character. But I think Angel has probably the most development out of most of the Angel and Buffy characters. I think Wesley and Cordelia have more character development because they've changed so much, but Angel's definitely up there, and he's just a fantastic character. And like I said, he's just a hero. That's what he is. He is flat out a hero. He's my favorite Buffy and Angel character. He's absolutely amazing. I love Angel. He is the shit. He's just badass, and he's such a relatable character. In ways that you wouldn't even think. I mean, obviously he's a vampire with a soul, but I mean, he's relatable in some ways. So, the last pick, and this may have not been the most obvious pick, but the last pick as my number one hero of all time would be from the Legend of Zelda series, Link. Specifically, whoa, the voice just raised right there, oh my god. Specifically, Ocarina of Time, Majora Mask Link. Because there's multiple Links out there. but the one that I love the most is Ocarina of Time Link. First of all, Ocarina of Time Link has the look. He looks the best out of all the Links. And some people will be like, well, Twilight Princess Link looks better. That's your opinion. Personally, I think Ocarina of Time Link looks like the shit. He is the man. And he's my favorite video game character. Link is a hard character to really describe because he doesn't have any speaking roles. Although Link does speak, he speaks through you. You make the decisions on what he speaks, what he says. But if you're really good at looking at characters' personalities and pick up their traits, you'll find that each Link is different, at least in the 3D version. I mean, the facial expressions on Wind Waker Link gives it away. Twilight Princess Link gives it away too. And Ocarina of Time Link is very much the same. Ocarina of Time Link is probably the bravest, most skilled, and most heroic out of all the Links. He is thrusted into this epic journey. Epic, and probably the biggest journey of all the Zelda games. I mean, it's a journey through time, and it's just incredibly momentous, the task he has to take. He's probably the bravest out of all the Links, although all the Links are courageous. I mean, they have the Triforce of Courage, well, at least some of them do, but they're all courageous. That's a trait that all the Links have. But this Link is very noble, where a lot of the Links come off as kind of either arrogant or goofy. This Link is very noble. Ocarina of Time Link is very noble, very courageous, very heroic. I think he's also the most well-trained Link of all, too. I think he's a great unarmed fighter, a great swords fighter, a great marksman, definitely the most skilled and probably the smartest out of all the Links. Again, you can't really say too much about Link because it's really hard to decipher a personality from him, because he doesn't really have much of a speaking role. But Link is an amazing character, and like I said, specifically the Ocarina of Time Majora's Mask Link. I think he's the best out of all the Links, and I really would like to see one more Zelda game, just one more, dealing with the Ocarina of Time Majora's Mask Link. I mean, he showed up in Ocarina of Time, he showed up in Majora's Mask, and he made a cameo in Twilight Princess as the ghost that trains you. So he's probably been the most well-seen Link out of all of them. But I always consider him the main Link because he also is the first Link too, the first hero of time, the first hero of Hyrule. So Link is an amazing character. I love him. He's a hero. He's just awesome. And like I said, Link, Angel, and Batman have all touched my life in some way, shape, or form. That sounds kind of silly. They're fictional characters, but they have. They've all inspired me in some way, shape, or form to be better, and I've enjoyed them more than any other character that's been out there. Honestly, these are my favorite fictional characters ever. Not just my favorite heroes, but my favorite fictional characters. Absolutely freaking amazing characters. So those are my 3 #1 picks. Sorry I made a tie. I promise this is the last tie you'll probably ever see. It's just a hard pick because I love them all equally. So with that said, now I'm going to get on to what the next video is going to be, the next top 10 countdown. You guys have one of 3 picks. Now the first pick is I could do a top 10 countdown to my favorite TV shows of all time. Out of all mediums of TV, whether it's cartoons, drama, action, comedy, all of them, my favorite TV shows of all time. There's also the pick of doing my favorite movies of all time. Out of all the movies out there, you guys can have me do my top 10 favorites. And lastly, you guys can have me do my top 10 favorite Batman stories of all time. My top 10 favorite graphic novels of all time. So out of all the Batman stories there's ever been, I can tell you what are my top 10 favorites. And there's a lot of Batman stories I absolutely love. There might be a few ties in that, I don't know. Because there's a lot of good Batman stories. So, what you have to do is comment on this page, right here. Comment. Tell me what you would want. Do you want me to do a top 10 countdown on my favorite TV shows? On my favorite movies? Or on my favorite Batman stories? You make the pick out of those 3 picks. TV shows, movies, or Batman stories. Saying it clear, saying it loud so you guys can hear. Those 3 picks are what you gotta do. choose one of those. Only way I can count your vote is if you comment on this page. So, the most comments for one particular area is going to win. And you guys can count how many comments there have been. This is an open voting process. So whoever wants to see who's going to win, you can just look at the comments on this page. Because by next week, on Friday, yes, on Friday, I will make the final decision on what will be the next Top 10 countdown. I'm giving you guys the opportunity, the power, the choice to make these videos happen. Don't fail me. Don't put in a stupid request asking for my top 10 Teletubbies. God. No, be serious. Do the 3 picks I gave you, okay? And I hope you guys have enjoyed my top 10 hero review. As always, if you want to post your top 10 heroes, go right ahead, make video responses. And as always, no matter what the next countdown will be, anyone wants to join, just video response my videos. Now this video has gone on long enough. Time to end this bad boy. This is Andrew saying peace out for now.